stories of our lives, words on a page, create a special feeling that become memories. Favorite melodies sung in harmony, lyrics that will tell your story. Come and join the adventures that we now share.
Hello, welcome to this episode of the Songs of Our Lives. This episode will feature former ballet dancer with the Tokyo Ballet and current president of Suzuki Myers in Novi, Michigan, Izumi Suzuki. Izumi will share the stories of the songs of her life. She will be interviewed by Ian Smith.
Well, hello. I am so very privileged and happy to be here with a dear friend of mine, Izumi Suzuki, who is president of Suzuki Myers in Novi, Michigan. Hi, Izumi, how are you?
I am fine.
It's so nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Gosh, I just want to share with our viewers what a wonderful relationship that I have had with your family. With, of course, Steve Myers, who was with you, had so much influence on me and was so responsible for all of my activities in Japan. And oh, you have no idea. Well, maybe you do, how much that changed my life and improved my life. And I just want to thank you for that, because you have made such a difference in my life. So thank you.
Well, thanks, Steve.
And well, of course, Steve.
Yeah.
And June as well. And Ken, you've just got such a wonderful family. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my relationship with you guys. We're here to talk about you and the role music has played in your life from a youngster till now. So that's quite a big topic. And I was wondering, do you have any musical memories from when you were a child?
Well, since I started ballet at 5 and, became a professional ballet dancer, the ballet music has been always with me. So it's always, classic ballet music. And also the more maybe class music, that ballet class music that we use, that could be either from a ballet or anything. They arrange different pop music and everything for class exercise. And so I have listened to it all the way through. And nowadays, I still take ballet 4 times a week.
Wow.
And in between, I listen to the classic music station all the time. It's in my iPhone.
Yeah.
So from the minute I wake up in the morning until at night, unless I am, doing some things that I should not listen to music. I listen to classic music.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I too love classical music. I was an opera major, so I listen to classical music or some semblance thereof throughout the day as well. Yeah, it's wonderful music. It just dawned on me that as a ballet dancer, and from the age of 5, you probably listen to music and experience music in a whole different way than I do. I think I've worked with dancers before, and oftentimes I've been a music director, and it's been the dancers that have had to correct me in my timing or in it's a
right. Yeah. It's at the Tokyo Ballet, we use the live music. The pianist came, and it's very important that the pianist has the same rhythm, all the way through one piece of music, or we get all messed up. So I think dancers are all very sensitive to the rhythm, the same rhythm. Yeah, sometimes, there are, even if it is recorded, some musicians get carried away and then, stretches or something, then we have to pause longer or something. It's tough.
Oh, I know. I find
So,
even as a conductor, I get excited and I might push the tempo a little bit more. And the dancers, I can see the look on their face, slow down, slow down.
right.
Oh, that's fun. Well, did you have any music in your home growing up? Did anybody play an instrument or sing?
No, not really. We were not very musical family. We are art family for sure. My father loved to draw.
Oh, okay.
So we have lots of drawings by him. And his brother, so my uncle, was a quite famous artist.
Oh.
And so, so maybe that's why we loved drawing and, paintings. We go to exhibitions, exhibits.
Yeah.
My mother loved too. So both my father and mother were into writing poems, Japanese poems.
Oh, wonderful.
And so, he would write a poem and then he would draw that shows his poem. And he would ask us, what do you think of this?
Well,
and
that's
then,
wonderful.
being snob kids, would say, well, I think you should change this to that, or this is too dark for your poem, or that kind of things. Yeah, so we enjoyed. Yeah, so we were quite artistic, but not musically.
Yeah. So in elementary school in Japan, so in Canada, we take music in elementary school, and I think we started band class in grade 6. But what was your experience in school?
Yeah, there was always a music once or twice a week, and we sang, and I played harmonica and recorder, and I liked the big drum.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, that was really, to get them stressed. That was wonderful. So I liked that a lot.
Oh, nice.
So that was elementary school, and we continue on to the middle school. Still we needed to take music, and in high school it was you take either music or paintings or the art, fine art, or the Japanese shodo, which is classic writing using black ink.
Oh, okay.
And I chose music, and only because I love to listen to classic music.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but that class came with that music. What do you call the? You need to learn all the theories, music
Yeah,
theories and
music
so on.
theory.
Yeah. And I hated it.
Oh, nobody seems to like that, especially at a young
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you said you sang in school as well.
Mhm.
Was there ever any, so in the community, were there ever like was there community choruses or church choirs or anything? Did you was there a religious experience with music?
Yes, yeah. I was not in the choir, but we had the music mass once a month,
Oh,
and it was all in Latin. But since it is the same, same wording all the
oh,
time, it's a mass.
yeah,
So,
of course, yeah.
so yeah, I have memorized that, and I like that. It was more interesting that way.
Hmm.
And the priest was quite good with singing too. So I enjoyed listening to him.
Now, was this in the Catholic Church?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful music in the tradition of the Catholic Church. I
Hmm.
and I recently did a wedding, and the priest sang the entire wedding ceremony.
Wow.
It was beautiful, and he too had a wonderful voice. Well,
Mm.
that's awesome. Um, so with church music and with church music often lends itself to sounding a little bit like classical music anyway.
Hmm.
There's so many similarities. Um, how about any secular musical experiences? So when you were growing up, um, did you go to see any concerts, any pop concerts, any classical? Well, obviously you went to classical concerts, but tell me about some of the concerts that you went to see.
Well, my money was used for ballet to see ballet. You know,
Ah,
it's quite expensive. And
yeah,
when the like American Ballet Theater came and more the Russian ballet came to Tokyo, and at that time, it's like $200, and so for a student, it was quite a bit of money, and
hmm,
so that's what I used money for.
hmm,
I did listen to pop music on TV. I watched and memorized. Um, so I knew these songs when I was in Japan.
yes, yeah.
And once I got out of Tokyo, out of Japan, I did not know, Japanese pop songs at all
Oh, of
until
course.
recently. I from 4 or 5 years ago, I started to watch figure skating. And of course, figure skating, they use classic music, pop music, musical music.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I got familiar with some of the Japanese pop music that way again. And it's good. It's because you understand all the verses, without any
Mhm.
problem. So
Yeah. Oh, I love
so
Japanese pop music. I love the
yeah.
production, the production value, the it's so well done.
Mhm.
It's got some emotional value to it, I find.
Mhm.
And it progresses. It just doesn't sit there like and
Right, right.
there's a bit of
Yeah.
repetition, but it's very well done. I do love well, I love all Japanese music, but uh uh, I love Japanese pop music as well. Uh,
Yeah.
so you were in Japan, and then obviously well, I know, but perhaps you could share with with the viewers how you met Steve and came to North America.
that gets too long.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I was helping my simultaneous interpreting teacher. He started a debating society, and Steve was a guest one time, and I was doing a receptionist. And so that's where I met Steve. And that time we really didn't talk because, he was a guest and I was just a receptionist.
mhm.
But 1 week later, we happened to meet or, encountered, I should say, in the same box of the same train.
Oh, okay.
And he remembered my name and I remembered his name.
Uh-huh.
And so we started to talk, and that was the beginning. And so we started dating and so on.
And what a life you built together. Oh, goodness. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, did you have any music at your wedding? Do you have any wedding song that you may have had played? Do you remember?
No, just the typical Mendelssohn's wedding,
Yeah.
march. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no,
Tradition.
nothing particular. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing like tradition, though, really. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But when Steve died, and that time he belonged to the WPGC, White Pine Glee Club,
Mhm.
and the members said,
Mm. I
yeah, that made me still emotional.
know.
It
Me
was
too.
beautiful.
They are what a wonderful group of musicians, singers, and they moved me to tears too. Yeah. That was a huge loss. I'm so sorry. That was a huge loss for all of us, but of course, mostly for you. Wow. Um, well, may I ask you, at this point in your life, um, what role music plays now? I mean, you mentioned that you listen to it pretty well all day long. Um, is there any specific role that it plays now, like in any of your activities?
Well, the this music I listen, it's my company.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Living alone.
Mhm. Mhm. It can be it can really it can break that silence that is so lonely. Yeah, it's a wonderful gift that we've been given, the music that is surrounding us. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's important to me.
Now, does the White Pine Glee Club still rehearse at your
Mhm.
place? Every,
Yes,
every
yeah.
Friday.
The number has decreased, and so there are, I think, less than 10 people now.
Okay.
And so, they come, but much smaller group.
Mhm.
Because of COVID, many of them went back to Japan. And
Okay.
also those I thought would stay here went back to Japan, even when they have permanent residency.
Mhm.
Yeah, they prefer Japan. So it got much smaller. But this year in May, they are celebrating 25th anniversary.
Wow.
And Mr. Shirai, the former director,
Oh, yeah.
is coming back
Oh, nice.
for that. And I will be an MC.
Oh, great. Oh, I would
Yeah.
love to come see that concert.
Yes, yeah. I will let you know more about it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember. So when we I have had the unique and wonderful experience of performing at the Suzuki Myers barbecue every single year that since I met you, except during COVID. And
Right, right. Yeah. And yeah, since the way we have the food, it is all, people bring the food and share. We decided until this year we cannot do that. So yeah, so none this year either. Maybe next year we will redo.
but those parties, oh my goodness, those were wonderful, have been wonderful parties with so many musical performers. I remember, gosh, I Taka Konishi played the flute, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember I brought my school choir over one year. I played piano a lot, had my jazz
Mm-hmm.
trio, and there was always guest musicians. I remember, I'm going to tell a story about Steve right now. Um,
Okay.
we drove to Vermont to we drove to Vermont. I just want to check and stop. Oh, good. The recording's still going. We drove to Vermont to pick up a case of beer for a gentleman that attended the party, and his nickname, I could have this a little wrong, was the Whistling Pig. And and so we went to a brewery in Vermont to pick up one case of Whistling Pig beer.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Steve always went out of his way to make people feel special.
Right, right. Uh-huh.
Well, Izumi,
Yes, yeah.
we're getting down to the last few minutes of our interview here.
Hmm.
And at this point, I would love to ask you a question as to what, if you have any favorite song that you would like to hear that we could play for you, what would that song be?
Well, that would be Saint-Saëns's the Swan, which in ballet that is called the Dying Swan.
Oh,
And I remember Maya Plisetskaya. She came to Tokyo Ballet and performed the Dying Swan, and that was so beautiful. And to this day, that's the best Dying Swan I have ever seen.
wow.
And I love the music.
Well, we are going to uh, prepare a version of that piece for you to hear, and we'll attach it to this interview. Uh,
Wonderful. Thank you.
oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful choice and a wonderful piece. Um, Izumi, I don't want to end the interview because I enjoy speaking with you so much. Um, is there anything you would like to leave us with regards to your thoughts on music? Any last thoughts that you might want to share?
Well, I don't know. It's part of my life.
Mhm, mhm. It's
Yeah.
obviously played a huge part of your life, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to share that, to share these stories, and to share a part of your life with us. It's just been such a pleasure to speak with you today.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Izumi. You have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Izumi. Domo arigato gozaimashita for sharing such interesting and wonderful stories about the music of your life. As you know, Izumi requested Camille Saint-Saëns' The Swan as her favorite piece. So at this point in the episode, we will hear from Karen McClellan on the cello and Alde Calongcagong on the piano as they perform The Swan for Izumi. That was beautiful, Karen and Alde. Thank you for such a fine performance. And thank you, Izumi, for such an interesting and good interview, and for such a fine musical request. Until next time, this is Wendell Phipps for Songs of Our Lives.